Hello and welcome back to Mad K Beauty. So today is another MS video, and so I'd like to tell you about my experience with my treatment, how it's going, any side effects that I've personally had, and that's it. So I want to start off with a huge disclaimer. I am not a doctor, I am not a neurologist. I cannot give medical information about treatments, about what you should be having. Please do not take any of my advice like that. I have just got secondhand knowledge from my doctors, nurses and neurologist. So for that sort of information you need to go to your own doctor and neurologist. But with that out of the way, I'd like to tell you about Ocrevus. So what this is a autoimmune suppressant, and they also abbreviate it down to Ocrevus. And so it's an immunosuppressant and it targets your B cells. It doesn't target all of your B cells. I believe some of your earlier B cells that you've had, like childhood vaccinations, aren't targeted, and I believe that's how it works, but the rest of the B cells are targeted because obviously it needs to settle down your immune system. So it works for primary, progressive and relapsing remitting MS. That's what they've found so far. It is a new drug. When I started on Ocrevus, I started as a trial. When I was first diagnosed, they gave me 3 options. They gave me, oh goodness, Tysabri. Yep, nope, it's gone. Tysabri, another one, and Ocrevus. And I believe Ocrevus at the time was like really scary because it was a trial. It was in a trial in Australia, and so in other places it was already being used and it was getting great results. So I thought, right, let's give it a go. So that was April last year. I had my first one. So what happens is you start off with 2 treatments, 2 half doses, and then after that it goes to full doses, and they're on 6-month increments. So the first 2 doses are close together. So all up I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 treatments with the Ocrevus, I believe. So just to walk you through how it goes, so you start off with pre-treatment of 2 Panadol and half a Nurofen, and this is just what my doctors have worked up for me. And then I go into, I believe, 500 milligrams of methylprednisone, which is like a steroid. So it's getting your body ready to take this, because there are common side effects during and after treatment. Your body sort of reacts to it. So this methylprednisone and the Nurofen are meant to sort of help counteract it. And then the fun stuff comes, the Ocrevus. So this all have, the methylprednisone and the Ocrevus come through an IV. So that's fun, you know, IV stuck in your arm for a whole day, but it's doing great things. So with all this, there is obviously time to monitor you, I believe. With the methylprednisone, the infusion goes for an hour, then I have an hour monitoring and break, and then I get into the Ocrevus, and then obviously and then with the Ocrevus, I believe they build you up, so they start off on a slower rate, and as certain time increments go by, they build it up. So usually, about halfway through my Ocrevus, usually if I start my treatment at 7:30 in the morning, by about 12:30, I get a really scratchy, uncomfortable, like a... how do I say that? It feels like I'm having an allergic reaction in my throat. Like I've actually got an intolerance to like meat proteins, like red meats. So sometimes if I have a meat that's too red, like I get a really itchy, yucky throat. And this is how it felt for me during Ocrevus. So about that time. And so what we do is we take another half Nurofen just to sort of counteract it, and it usually settles down. So that's fun. And then after all that's done, usually I finish at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then I have an hour monitoring as well. So just I keep my blood pressure cuff on, the heart monitor cuff on, and I believe it's 15 or half an hour minute increments, taking my temperature as well, monitoring close. And that's what the day looks like. I've actually got like a little video clip I took that I can put in now. And this is just me sitting in the chair with the IV in. Wanting to get like a little glimpse of it, so I just sit in the recliner chair. So that's my experience with the actual treatment itself. The day after, usually they tell me to take 2 Panadol and a Nurofen, I believe, before I go to sleep 2 days after. But I really don't have any other side effects, like other than obviously with the methylprednisone, which is a steroid. I get 500 milligrams of that, so it is quite a lot, and then I usually am quite hyped up and, you know, steroids. But the next day I usually crash. I'm usually exhausted. Well, not just from the steroids, just everything, like my body trying to come back from being attacked. So usually I have treatments on Wednesday. Thursday I'm wiped out. Friday, half the day I'm a little wiped out, and then the other half I'm back ready. So I bounce back pretty quickly. From Ocrevus, I've heard other people have different stories. I have a whole lot of water. I try and just flush my system. I try and, although I do crave bad things like sweets and lollies and like chips and dips and biscuits and stuff like that, I try and eat healthy. So try and get as much greens as I can in, have a green juice. So if you juice 2 sticks of celery, apparently it's meant to help your liver, and your liver is connected to your immune system. So I've been giving that a go, and energy wise it's feeling great. So an update on how it's going as far as scans go. I've been having MRI scans throughout this whole treatment, and I obviously had an MRI scan before I started treatment, and that was when I was having a big relapse, a big flare-up. So I think it could be because of that, but I have had no new lesions this whole way through the treatment, not a single new lesion. And they didn't want to jinx it, but it could have been because it was a lesion before I started treatment, like a new lesion, but they have seen 1 or 2 lesions actually decrease in size. So I'm not saying anything, I don't know anything about that sort of stuff, but it's really, really promising news, and I'm so thankful that I started on this journey with Ocrevus, because I think I've found the treatment that works for me, and I really hope honestly that everyone else with MS is able to find that treatment that really clicks with them, that works with them, because, you know, like, you want to be comfortable in the meantime till they find a cure, which I'm really hoping for, and that's what I look forward to. And medical science these days is really, really increasing. Like, what I believe 10 years ago we only had 5 treatments for MS, and now we've got, I think, like 35 plus treatments around that. Again, don't really know much about it, but that's amazing. So yeah, high hopes about finding a cure, and in the meantime Ocrevus is the one for me, and I hope this might help some of you. Anywho, see you later. Bye.